what brings you joy internally is important. Seeing outside form for you brings you joy. It is important. Once you've had an inkling of sight, it is yours forever. Children hold a more whole mind, a more globe of knowledge, so to speak. And as they go through their paces along their board of life, that globe of essence is broken into what? Patterns. Huh? And those patterns become their roadmap, so to speak. Shifting into looking through your eyes takes you time as a child. Becoming aware of identity helps you to shift more and more into your eyes. So as a child is naming something, he's seeing it through his eyes, so to speak, with the conscious identity behind him, that chair. And that pattern becomes a pattern that registers within the conscious mind and the hemispheres. Before it was named, it was just part of his landscape or her landscape. Once it's named, it's hard to not see it that way. And thus, the eyes of the brain start looking to name stuff, because remember, it's very hard being in a body. And you want it to be easy. And the more you name stuff, the more identity, the easier it is to process your day. And thus, the more we identify with, it's hard to see it beyond that form. So then people are bodies. Good identification. And your mind just wants them to be within that identification. And then bodies are separate. Again, yay! You can walk down the road and not bump into somebody because they're separate from you. And kids have a hard time. They stumble and they go up to everybody and say, and look and talk, or because they're seeing not the body. They're seeing the energy field. And because your words and identification is not universal about talking about the auras and energy fields, those are never named. And so as a pattern, they're forgotten. The cellular memory is there, yes, but it goes way back because your mind, you build in here, this conscious space, wants what is relevant to make you not feel so out of sorts in your day-to-day awareness. And then you get good, so good at identification and slotting everything and everyone. And when it doesn't fit, you want to delete it. Or believe that somehow it was an imagination or a dream. Because your words do not hold great identification for things that are outside of, again, the game rules you'll all have decided around the body. And so, things you have seen and you all here have seen, all here have felt beyond identification of what the game pieces you play with. You have all heard. You have all known. You have used all of these wonderful gifts already. But because you didn't have an identification with them, you have in your mind put it towards something else. Because of course, it has to be something else that fits your slot. And then it happens out as you get older and your mind is great and its identification index files all over. Bloop. That's how the mind, conscious mind works. Bloop, there it is. Bloop, there it is. You all of a sudden get put off that Rolodex, that identification line. And because you have tuned into you somehow, you recognize, I don't know what that is, but I want to understand it. I have to figure that out. Whatever you saw, you heard, you knew, felt right. I'm going to do that again. I don't know how. And so then you start seeking self-help books. Shows that give you different identification. People who are a little quacky maybe, but they're seeing or they're hearing. And you're stretching what was comfortable into an expression of saying, I'm okay if I don't know how to identify, because I feel something is right here. There's something I want that makes me more me. Oh, great, great, great wisdom. For you then bring in many lifetimes, many moments that you've had that. Again, that vibrational frequency inspires more. Because that's your truth. Is you're beyond any idea. And seeking or seeing then is a possibility. What is possible is probable. And what is probable is actual. And what is actual is yours in this now. Dreams create wonderment, for it allows a safety net to stretch into thinking what is probable. And then that allows you to say, oh, that's actually me. And then it is you. Then you see, right? So know that you are all in tune with spirit. Becoming clear is cleaning out those identities, those pieces of the game you don't necessarily yet want to trade in. But know that probably the next time around you will, to create a new momentum, to go to a place that is not yet identified for you, but makes you like you.